Alrighty. I do apologize in advance for the sound. I realized after watching the first video that the sound sucks, so I need to get an auxiliary microphone, which I think someone has around the house. So I'll try that. Hopefully just some more careful handling of the phone eliminates the distractions from previous. Anyway, part 2, we have stopped at Dadco Nightlife District, and we'll explore around here. This is a stop between Dadco headquarters and Terrascotta. So, rail line stops there. This is just a sitting area. Sort of a community area. Now, from here you can go over to the headquarters or stay with the Nightlife District. And here we have a couple of locations in the Nightlife District. Sammy's Fine Dining and the Emerald Room. We'll check both of those out. Alrighty. This is a reading nook, because that just seems like the place you want to be when you're reading. Watch the rain. Kind of isolated from others' conversations. General reading area. Sammy's Fine Dining is that way. The Emerald Room is back here. The Emerald Room is sort of a place where you can have a party or a reception. We rent it out, etc., etc. All these tables pull out. And you have seating. Secluded little area. Not over. Where's it at? There. And here, this is just another entrance into the Emerald Room. We'll get to what's on the other side here. There's Sammy's Fine Dining. There's another seating area. We'll get to all that. Whoop. Now, before we go over to Sammy's Fine Dining, we have a hidden room, which is, there it is. There we go. This is sort of like a club area. Where we can have sort of an overgrown version of darts. We got archery, we've got the spears, we have a target, and there's a spot down here for adjudication, and then spectators. If we go up, there's a seating area for refreshments, and you can look right down through the floor and watch the competition. And this is a fun place for people to spend their time. This seems like it. So we'll leave that and move on to the rest of the Nightlife District. Where's that? There. That's hidden. So, some fountains here. Go to Sammy's Fine Dining. That's the VIP suite up there. We'll start with the main dining area. Some nice tables, cozy seating. Kitchen. Nice. Refrigeration. Prep areas. Go out and check the VIP suite. Sort of a chaise arrangement here. With a small table, very cozy. Very Roman. Lots of roses. Nice view. Nice view out over the jungle. Now, look over here. This is just a seating area. There's the Emerald Room. That's the back way into the Emerald Room. This is just sort of a seating meeting area where anyone can come. Now, if you go down this hallway, which is rather long, it's very long. On the left, there should be a doorway. There it is. This doubles back onto the rail station. So if you wanted to go over there, you could just go straight over there. You don't have to go through all of that carrying on to get to where you wanted to go. Is it still raining? Yes, it's still raining. And this is just a terrace area. Off in the distance, you can see the stadium. And there's a rail line going out in the direction of the farm and the horse ranch and condo caverns. There's Terracotta. Further over that way is the community, or the Performing Arts Center, and then the community center. How this thing hasn't burned to the ground yet, I don't know, but looks cool. And some running water. And just like a park. This seems like something fun. Copper and blue, of course. Oh, we're gonna get out of this for what a mess. We're just gonna fly because it's so much faster. Okay, we've seen all this. My favorite part of the nightlife district is the Diogenes Club. And if you're not familiar with the Diogenes Club, you should read a little more. Absolute silence, except for this narration, when in the Diogenes Club. Now, I've taken some liberties with the actual layout of the Diogenes Club, as that is a bit vague. Doyle is a little vague on the actual happenings within the club. But there is a seating area with some reading material. Of course, plenty of Dadco roses. This is a locker area, a place to hang up your coat or whatever. This is the Birch study. Lots of resources in here, lots of studying. Of course, since it is complete silence in the Diogenes Club, you're actually able to read with somebody screaming at you. Let's go back here. Here's a sauna, which is nice. That door and that door are decorative. That door is a hidden escape. I'll show where that goes eventually. See if I can get out of here. Okay. Now, around this side, we have the sensory deprivation room. Once you're... Oh, that's awfully abrupt. Once you're in, shut that off, and now you are completely isolated. Once you're seated, turn the light off, and if we didn't have night vision on, it would be pitch black in here. And you could enjoy some sensory deprivation. Nice place to clear your head, listen to your inner voice, relax. Down this hallway leads us to the last area of the Diogenes Club, which is the Contemplation Walk. If you're not familiar with the Contemplation Walk, it is a spiral leading inward to a terminus. The idea is, as you walk the Contemplation Walk, you contemplate. You walk slow enough that any problem you're having, you can contemplate, and by the time you get to the terminus, you have reached a solution to your problem. I forget what culture. Is that Japanese? Contemplation walk? Somebody will correct me. Obviously, you wouldn't want to go this fast if you were contemplating. But it's gravel. The whole path is gravel to represent individuals that we are, working together, living together as a mass. And then whenever you get into the center, the final run is, well, if we ever get to it, the final steps are Enderstone and then the Oblivion of Onyx, which is where you leave your turmoil and troubles because you have come to a solution, or at least a resolution. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video so as to not make anyone watch me walk out of this, because the only way to get out is to walk without ripping everything apart. So I'll be right back. That's really long. Okay. Done with Diogenes Club. Whoops. Now leaving the Diogenes Club. We may all speak freely now. Okay. Over here we have the zoo. Not exactly sure what TC means. My daughter built this zoo. That is the ticket booth for the zoo. I guess we'll look down here. The zoo begins there. I don't think she actually has any animals. There's some animals in the upside down exhibit, but I don't believe there's any others. Not even in the aquarium, I believe. So we'll skip that for now, but we'll revisit that whenever she restocks it. I'm I mean, we can have a look around at the upside down exhibit. The color changing sheep. Yep, I agree. Okay. There's the gift shop. Like I said, we'll go over that again whenever she restocks it or stocks it with exhibits. Here's a fish pond. Once they released these cherry woods and trees, I kind of went crazy with them. They just look so nice. And there's a bunch of fish. Stupid fish. You want to try and do a nice tiered pond, and they sit in the lowest part. You got to be careful with that. Otherwise, you won't see them. I wonder if I could do construction voids, if that would keep them out. But then you couldn't put plants down there, which I don't know. Anyway, seating area, fish pond, not really meant to be fished, but more of a place to observe the fish. Now, this walkway extends from Terrace Cotta back to Terrace Cotta, but it has an offshoot that comes over to the nightlife district. So we will go back to the nightlife district, and I think, yes, we'll take the rail car over to Terrace Cotta. We'll examine Terrace Cotta, and we'll probably call that a video today. Oh, I should. The center mountain here. I'm not sure what it is. The hill. There's some hidden things in there that we'll get into. Maybe no, we're not going to get into. And I've just gone crazy with the branding, because why wouldn't you? That's sort of the idea of a corporate community, is it's branded all to heck and back. Which is tongue-in-cheek. Okay. Go back through the library. Out through here. Oh, yes, over to the corporate center looks like this. We go up these stairs. And we walk across here. And then we're back to the lower copper stair and trellis that, terrace that we saw before, but that's all this does. This just leads over to the nightlife district. And why did I do that? Because if you work in the corporate center and you live in Terrace Cotta, this is the straightest route to get home, other than to take a rail car, which you could, but then you could come over here and get something to eat at Sammy's Fine Dining. So we'll run over here to Terrace Cotta. Okay. Now, let's do an aerial overview of Terrace Cotta first, before we look at everything. Terrace Cotta is a cottage apartment community, however you want to consider it. We have a number of identical cottage apartments, but they are, each one is, they go into, there's 4 or 5 different color variations, but they're fairly unique, even though they're all laid out exactly the same. We have a stairwell to get around the area, and then up top we have a pool, and a pool sort of patio, and a fun time sort of area here, with different sets of stairs to go down to different parts of Terrace Cotta. There's the power receiver for Terrace Cotta community. And there is the outdoor music area for live performances. So let's look at one of the apartments, I believe. If I can fly. Where were we? Right here? Okay, let's look at one of the apartments. This is the Terracotta Community Bulletin Board with information that everybody needs. And let's go up. We'll look at my apartment. Oh, this is the top. Is this the top? This is the top. Okay. Let's go to the top that quick. Okay. As I said, all these apartments are equal and exactly the same. Every apartment has sort of a little storage unit. And this one is what I have furnished for myself. Lots of shelves, lots of storage areas. And I have hidden bookcase. Not so much to hide it, but because there's so little room in here. And then every apartment has a couple of lamps, which you can turn on. At your discretion. I put a lilac there. I believe that's lilac. And a little porch. Come on, that's a view, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Imagine that. You got this nice little apartment. You come home from work. It's clean. It's modern. Nice community. It's social, but you still have your privacy. And then you just kick back on your porch and watch the weather. And down there's a beach you can go to. You can we'll get into the terrace walkway, which you can see from up here, that goes around the peninsula there. There's boats to use down there. And we'll go ahead and walk down, and I will show you where it connects the Terracotta community to... Oh, now I went the wrong way. Where the Terracotta community connects to further out within Dadco. There's a set of ruins down there, and that is the Performing Arts Center. And then on the other side of that hill, just to the right, that's the community center. And then down behind our hill that we're standing on is Zoe's community store. So we'll go look at all that next. So these lower apartments obviously they're not raised, so they have their own walkway here on the ground, which ties into a set of stairs that go up to the main landing and the railway. But also, this is the terminus of the Terrace Trail, and this is also a quick walking path over to the Dadco Nightlife Center. So if you wanted to go for a little meander and then end up at the Nightlife Center, you could do so. And I'll eventually show it, but right here, remember that door in... Oops. Remember the door that I said was an escape route out of the sauna in the Diogenes Club? That leads to a tunnel that comes out right here. So I will go over that and show that at some point. But it's really just a tunnel. It's got a door on one end and then some pistons on this end, so it's not like the most exciting thing in the world. Okay. Let's just fly. This is too old. Okay. 2 ways to get down to the Lake Escrow, the Terrace Trail, and Music Center, and then the walkway over to the rest of the community. One way is down that way, and another way is a walk tunnel this way, and I'll show where that comes out. Down here. Now, up that way is the Music Center Pavilion. Lake Escrow. Up this way, the ruins, the community store, and the community center. Here is Dock Ness. And there's the boats. This is the beach. Now up here, it's just a little gathering area, place to sit. But that top tunnel comes down here. So that is a shortcut to come down directly to the beach. And then we have a hot tub. You can actually sort of swim in that hot tub. And we have, down into the water for the beach. And we have a little bathhouse here. You can get the sand out of your butt. And then I'm going to give you an overview of this trail. So this trail is really just a trail. It comes down here. It goes around this peninsula, or this outcropping. I suppose it's not a peninsula. It might be. I don't know. And then it meets back up. So you don't have to go the whole way around. You could have just cut through here. And I'm going to, for the first time ever, I'm going to reveal one of two safe rooms that I had to put in because my daughter thought it was funny when she was playing this game with me, was to switch it over to survival when I was in the middle of creating something, because I just only play in creative. So I'd find myself getting attacked by mobs and stuff blowing up my builds and all this, and then I was starving and falling off of stuff and didn't have any weapons because I had no inventory, blah, blah, blah. So, I have two safe rooms on opposite sides of Dadco. That's one. Yeah, that's one. The other one is over by the stadium. So, this trail then continues on around here. There is the music pavilion. And the trail goes around here. And this is where you can get a nice view of the upside down animals. That's kind of cool. And then this over here goes to the nightlife district. And then this goes to back to Terracotta, where we saw before. And there's some down there. See, it comes right back up here. Okay. Now, let's go over and look at the rest of sort of this end of the Dadco community. So before you go down to the beach or start on the trail, you have an option. You can go to look at the ruins or the Dadco Center or the community store. So let's go this direction. Center for the Performing Arts is that way. Zoe's community store is this way. And these are the ruins. Now, I didn't build this. This was here, which you're familiar with Minecraft. You know that it chucks this stuff in wherever it feels like. I just excavated around it. All that was there. I thought that was pretty cool. Usually it's just fragments that it puts in random places. I excavated the whole way around it, and that was all there. I thought that was pretty neat. So it's now a display. How about that? Pretty interesting. Let's go over and look at the Performing Arts Center. Why am I walking sideways? Let's go look at the Performing Arts Center. It looks formidable up on a hill like that, overlooking the water. Why am I walking sideways? Something has happened in my life. Okay. Lots of signage, lots of communication. That is a back way into, basically it's a way to go between the community center and the Performing Arts Center in case the two have an event that coincides. And here's the Performing Arts Center. We have an open stage area. We have seating, and that's about it. Pretty basic. Let me check the time here. Okay. Yeah, pretty basic. So we could do some performances here, or some live music. This would be a good place for an orchestra. The outdoor center is a little bit too open for an orchestra, I think. We'll get to that community center in a minute. We're heading in that direction. I'm back over here. So that's the ruins and the Performing Arts Center. And then this pathway leads over to the community center and Zoe's community store, which is a general store for specifically the Terrascotta community, but also others. As you will see, there are other communities within rail travel of the community store. It sort of works as just a general store for everyone. Oh, hold on. See what I mean about it glitching and lagging? It's a mess. Imagine if I had add-ons in here. That is a walking path into a side entrance to the community center. The main way to get to the community center is by rail, but you can get in on foot, and that is the way to get in on foot. Now, this is Zoe's community store. My daughter built this, and I think it is glorious. Very well done. With a railway through it, so you can push your cart around and buy stuff. All kinds of stuff in here. All the armor you want. And I think she even has a desk beside the register to do special orders. Yeah, armor and tools must be ordered. Now, off to the side here, there are two other entrances. This is for rail entrance to the community store from Terrascotta. So if you get off work and you want to go to the store, you can just skip right past the landing at Terrascotta and come over to the store and then buzz home. But there are no pressure plates out here because I couldn't put them. Now this other entrance is not really an entrance. What it is access to the supply line that goes from Zoe's community store all the way over to the warehouse. Did we see the warehouse before? I can't remember. I cannot remember if we saw the warehouse. I have to go over and revisit the warehouse. Also, down at the bottom of that hill, there is a T-junction that would take you over to Green Hectares Farm, which is where Zoe's community store gets its produce and livestock. fresh meats. Okay. And I added this. This is the Vomit Comet. This is just a little amusement ride for kids. Remember when you used to go to the grocery store and they had those coin-operated rides out front? Well, they don't really have that anymore. And I thought that was a miss. So, you can ride this thing around. And I don't really want to do it because it gives me a headache every time I do. But it goes underground, lots of fast turns and direction changes and makes you sick. Kids like that. So that is the community store. Let's go back over to the community center. Here, we'll go in this way. There's a little island and a boat that you can use. And so you would come into the community center 35 minutes. Well, you come into the community center by rail over top, and you would enter down here. However, you could also walk in through that along that footpath, and you would go down this stairwell to go into the lower levels of the community center. Now, also, we just added the other day harpoon range. There we go. So you have a little target practice. Might have some competitions here. But for demonstration purposes, we will go into the community center through the main entrance. And that is where we will pick it up next time.